In your introduction, some things to avoid: plagiarism, wrong references, missing the most important literature, and a lack of logic. To avoid plagiarism when paraphrasing, you need to read the passage very, very well. Then you need to put the passage away so you can refer to it later. Then, write your own version of the passage without looking at the original passage. Then, compare what you paraphrased with the original passage. You will likely follow the 2/3 rule of using your own words or more in your paraphrase and lessen your chance that you will be accused of plagiarism. What is plagiarism? There are some actions that can almost unquestionably be labeled plagiarism. Some of these include buying, stealing, or borrowing a paper, including, of course, copying an entire paper or article from the web, hiring someone to write your paper for you, and copying large sections of text from a source without quotation marks or a proper citation. But then there are some actions that are usually in more of a gray area. Some of these include using the words of a source too closely when paraphrasing, when quotation marks should be used instead, or building on someone's ideas without citing their spoken or written work. Sometimes teachers suspecting students of plagiarism will consider the student's intent and whether it appeared the student was deliberately trying to make ideas of others appear to be their own. However, other teachers and administrators may not distinguish between deliberate and accidental plagiarism. The key to avoiding plagiarism is to make sure you give credit where credit is due. This may be credit for something somebody said, wrote, emailed, drew, or implied. Many professional organizations, including the Modern Language Association, MLA, and the American Psychological Association, APA, have lengthy guidelines for citing sources. However, students are often so busy trying to learn the rules of MLA format and style or APA format and style that they sometimes forget exactly what is needed to be credited. Here, then, is a brief list of what needs to be credited or documented. Words or ideas presented in a magazine, book, newspaper, song, TV program, movie, web page, computer program, letter, advertisement, or any other medium of information you gain through interviewing or conversing with another person, face to face, over the phone, or in writing. When you copy the exact words or a unique phrase. When you reprint any diagrams, illustrations, charts, or other visual materials. When you reuse or repost any electronically available media, including images, audio, video, or other media. There is no need to cite common knowledge. Generally speaking, you can regard something as common knowledge if you find the same information undocumented in at least 5 credible sources. Additionally, it might be common knowledge if you think the information you're presenting is something your reader will already know, or something that a person could easily find in general reference sources. But when in doubt, cite. If the citation turns out to be unnecessary, your teacher or your editor will tell you. It is best to use minimal direct quotations. When writing direct quotations, keep the source author's name in the same sentence as the quote. Mark the quote with the quotation marks, or set it off from your text in its own block, per the style guides from your paper. Quote no more material than is necessary. If a short phrase from a source will suffice, don't quote an entire paragraph. To shorten quotes by removing extra information, use ellipsis points. To indicate omitted text, keep in mind that in longer quotes where you have omitted a sentence in between other complete sentences, maintain terminal punctuation in between the ellipses. To give context to a quote or otherwise add wording to it, place added words in brackets. Be careful not to editorialize or make any additions that skew the original meaning of the quote. Do that in your main text. Use quotes that will have the most rhetorical, argumentative impact in your paper. Too many direct quotes from sources may weaken your credibility, as though you have nothing to say yourself, and will certainly interfere with your style. Other things to avoid include wrong references. Make sure your references are correct. Missing important literature shows that you didn't do a complete search, or you aren't as familiar with the literature in your field as you should be. And another final thing to avoid is a lack of adequate understanding of the literature. That happens, again, when your introduction is weak and you are missing important literature or references.